Did you intend to kill or cause really serious injury to Donald Patterson by serving that meal?
No, I didn't.
Did you intend to harm him in any way?
No.
Did you intend to kill or cause really serious injury to Gail Patterson by serving that meal?
No.
Did you intend to cause her any harm at all?
No.
Did you intend to kill or cause really serious injury to Heather Wilkinson by serving that meal?
No, I didn't.
And did you intend to cause her any harm at all?
No.
And did you intend to kill Ian Wilkinson by serving that meal?
No, I didn't.
Did you intend to cause him any harm at all?
No, I didn't.
There were some emphatic denials from Erin Patterson in court today as her defence barrister Colin Mandy brought her 3 days of evidence in chief to an end. But it wasn't the end of her time on the stand because Crown Prosecutor Nanette Rogers had her own set of questions for the woman accused of triple murder.
I suggest that you deliberately used foraged mushrooms in the beef Wellington that you'd served to your guests on Saturday the 29th of July.
No, that's not true.
I also suggest to you that those foraged mushrooms were death cap mushrooms.
I didn't deliberately put death cap mushrooms in the meal.
It was a day dominated by the prosecution's cross-examination of Erin, and we'll break it down in this episode. I'm Brooke Grebert-Craig, and this is The Mushroom Cook. We just finished day 26 of Erin Patterson's murder trial, and court reporter Laura Placella joins me in our makeshift podcast studio.
Let's get this episode underway.
As we mentioned at the start of the episode, today the jury mostly heard the prosecution's cross-examination of Erin, and there was a lot of rapid-fire questions from Dr. Rogers.
Yes, there was. Mr. Mandy didn't take very long today to finish Erin's evidence in chief. So by 11:30, Dr. Rogers had risen to her feet and asked Erin her first question.
Here's an exchange between Erin and Dr. Rogers from today in court, voiced by actors.
So, to sum up, in relation to your so-called cancer diagnosis, your claim to various people that you had been diagnosed with cancer before the lunch was deliberately false. Yes or no?
I didn't make that claim.
You told this lie, I suggest, as part of your efforts to get the lunch guests and Simon to attend your lunch. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
And I suggest to explain why the children were not present. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
You knew you didn't have cancer, however. Correct?
That's true.
But you needed, I suggest, to appear to have a good reason to invite your guests to lunch at your house, because it was so out of the ordinary for you to do this. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Do you say that it was ordinary for you to have people over to your house for lunch?
No, it wasn't ordinary.
And it certainly wasn't ordinary to invite Ian and Heather, was it?
That's true. They hadn't been for lunch at my house before.
I suggest that you never thought you would have to account for this lie about having cancer because you thought that the lunch guests would die.
That's not true.
And your lie would never be found out. Correct or incorrect?
That's not true.
Dr. Rogers reminded the court of Ian Wilkinson's evidence from the second week of the trial, where he said that Erin had announced at the lunch that she had cancer and that she had undergone a diagnostic test that showed a tumour. But Erin told the court today that she did not make those statements at the table. She did agree, though, that she wanted the guests to believe she would be having treatment for cancer, but she denied ever telling them that she had a diagnosis. Erin admitted yesterday in her evidence in chief that she misled the guests when she told them she might need upcoming treatment to hide the fact that she was planning to have gastric bypass surgery due to the body image issues she had developed over her life. She explained that she misled them because she was too ashamed to tell her guests she was planning to have that surgery.
Let's move on. Erin was asked many questions today about mushrooms, including whether she saw a post on citizen website iNaturalist, and this post was about death cap mushrooms cited in Locke. Here's her exchange with Dr. Rogers.
I suggest that you saw Christine McKenzie's post that she posted on iNaturalist on 18th of April 2023 about death cap mushrooms at Locke. Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree.
I suggest that you then went to lock on the 28th of April 2023. Do you agree or disagree?
I don't know if I did go to lock that day or not.
I'm going to suggest that you went to lock on that day to find death cap mushrooms. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
The jury were then shown an image of yellow-tinged mushrooms laid out on a dehydrator tray on a set of electronic scales.
These mushrooms in Image 1 of Exhibit 18 are the death cap mushrooms that you found at lock on 28th of April 23. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
I suggest that you were weighing these mushrooms, these death cap mushrooms, so that you could calculate the weight required for the administration of a fatal dose for one person. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
And the weight required for 5 fatal doses for 5 people. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Erin told the jury yesterday that she made 6 beef Wellingtons and put one in the fridge when she was plating up. Today, Dr. Rogers asked her whether she intended to serve one of those 6 beef Wellingtons to Simon if he had turned up to the lunch. She replied that if he had come, she would have given him a beef Wellington too, but she again denied deliberately putting death cap mushrooms in any of the beef Wellingtons. On the topic of Simon, Dr. Rogers also took Erin to some of his testimony where he said that Erin had told him she had done a blind taste test with their daughter by hiding dried mushrooms in muffins to see which one she would like more. Erin told the court today that it was true that she was putting dried mushrooms in her children's food, including spaghetti, lasagna, stew, and brownies, and she explained that she was trying to get extra vegetables into her children's bodies. Dr. Rogers suggested that she was actually trying to see if she could successfully hide mushrooms in food generally, but Erin said it was only in relation to her children's food.
Dr. Rogers also questioned Erin about the dehydrator she bought from a store in Leongatha about 12:17 p.m. on April 28. Erin admitted that she dumped this dehydrator at the Coonawarra tip 4 days after the lunch on August 2. Here's what was said in court.
And you agree that they were your fingerprints found on your dehydrator?
Correct.
You took the dehydrator to the transfer station because you had been using it to dehydrate mushrooms, hadn't you?
Yes.
And not just any old mushrooms, death cap mushrooms, in fact. Correct?
I didn't know that I'd done that.
And you knew that they were death cap mushrooms that you had been dehydrating, correct?
No, I didn't know that.
And you were very keen to dispose of any evidence which might connect you with the possession of death cap mushrooms.
No, I didn't know they'd been in it.
That's why you rushed out the day after your release from Monash to get rid of the evidence, correct?
No.
You lied to police about never owning a dehydrator because you knew you had used the dehydrator to prepare death cap mushrooms to include in the lunch.
No, I didn't know that.
You lied because you knew if you told the police the truth, it would implicate you in the deliberate poisoning of your 4 lunch guests, correct?
No, it's not true.
Erin told the jury yesterday about a conversation she had with Simon while they were at Monash Medical Centre on August 1. She said that he accused her of poisoning his parents using the dehydrator. When she was asked to explain why she dumped the dehydrator, she said after that exchange with Simon, she was scared about the conversations that might flow with people from child protection, and she was scared that authorities would blame her for making everyone sick.
Later during the proceedings today, Dr. Rogers asked Erin about messages she sent her online friends in December 2022 about Don's response to an ongoing child support dispute with Simon.
In the messages to her friends, Erin said that Don couldn't adjudicate because he didn't know both sides and Simon wouldn't give his side. She said that Don told her that all he could ask is that Simon and her get together and pray for the children, before she then said, "This family, I swear to fucking God." In this message, there were 3 emojis that Erin sent. 1 after the reference to Simon not giving his side, and 2 after the reference to praying for their children. These messages were shown to the court today on screens, but they were not screenshots of the messages themselves, but rather extracts. I don't think any of us foresaw there would be an exchange about emojis in this trial, but that's what took place today. Here's what was said.
I suggest to you that these are eye roll emojis, but you disagree with that?
I think there's a better eye roll emoji than these that actually makes it clear that eyes are rolling. I can't see anything about eyes rolling in there.
By inserting these emojis, I suggested that you were mocking their advice to you, correct?
No, that's not true.
And part of your mockery was the religious component of their advice. Do you agree?
No, I don't. I wasn't mocking. I was frustrated.
Even though these emojis are right next to the phrases pray together and pray for the kids?
They are.
Dr. Rogers will continue her cross-examination of Erin tomorrow. Laura, the jurors actually found out more about the timeline of the trial today, didn't they?
Yes, that's right. So we're nearly at the end of the 6th week, and at the beginning of the trial, Justice Christopher Beale indicated to the jury that the trial would only be about 6 weeks. So today he turned to the jurors to offer them an update. He said that Erin would most likely continue giving evidence until early next week, before legal discussions would be taking place in the jury's absence. He then said that after that there would be the closing addresses from both the prosecution and the defence, which would likely bring them to the end of next week. Then after that, he said, they would be hearing from him directly when he delivers his judge's charge or his instructions to the jury, and that would also take a couple of days as well. Justice Beale then said to them that the boot would then go on the other foot because none of them could tell him how long it would take them to deliberate a verdict. But he said when that time came, they should take all the time they need.
I'm sure the jurors appreciated getting that timeline just like we did. And just like them, we'll be here for the duration of the trial, bringing you all the latest updates in the case. For now, head to themushroomcook.com.au for more.